with the new broadcast of Paramhansa Yogananda's original teachings and writings. And at this point, I'm still reading from The Path, the new path, that is the autobiography of Swami Kriyananda, Yogananda's direct disciple, in the chapters when he talks about his experiences and what he learned living with his guru. And today I want to read a brief paragraph. He once told us, meaning Yogananda, "I prefer to work with love. I just wilt when I have to work in other ways." I myself noted whenever he scolded me, the deep regret in his eyes at my lack of understanding, which had made this reprimand necessary. But he reassured us, "I scold only those who listen. I won't scold those who don't." It wasn't that he couldn't relate to us on a human level. Rather, it was that for those who wanted the most precious gift of all that he had to give, to bestow, the knowledge of God, he knew that he had to destroy all our attachments to ego. Yogananda's foremost disciple was Rajarsi Janakananda, Saint Lin, as he called him for a while, and later he bestowed the name Rajarsi Janakananda on him. And someone once asked him how it was that Rajarsi, who was a self-made multimillionaire from quite a young age, and he donated tremendous amounts to Yogananda's work to help support it and really ground it financially, give it a good foundation. But in any case, he also, as Yogananda explained, was liberated spiritually in this lifetime. And Yogananda was once asked, how was it that Rajarsi had that gift, that advanced spiritual consciousness, that he could be liberated in this time? And Yogananda's response was, he knew how to listen. It isn't just a question of thinking that we're listening, that's a mental process. It's a question of knowing how to listen. That is to say, how to still our minds enough, our hearts and our minds, be still and know that I am God. To still our own thoughts and minds enough that we can actually hear what the other person is trying to say, or even when they're not using words to say it, that we can hear it by the openness and the concentration on stillness that we have. We can catch a glance or a glimmer or just a bare energetics about what is that person is actually saying. I watched that myself constantly through the years in living close with Kriyananda, Yogananda's disciple. Kriyananda did not hold himself out as the guru or even as fully liberated, although his guru promised him that death would be his final sacrifice in this lifetime. Nevertheless, he was definitely, by my observation, much more evolved spiritually than I was. And so I tried to practice the art of listening while in his presence, which meant that I had to meditate to get calmer and more still within myself, so that I could slow down that reactive process. You know, when somebody is speaking to us and we react to the concepts or the words that they're saying or how they're saying them. And our minds will constantly bring us back to the post of ego, to the post of our own experiences. Somebody is talking about how cold it is in the room. We think immediately about when we have felt cold and what that was like and where we were, and a billion thoughts that bounce off of that. That's the reactive process. And by meditation, slowly over time, we slow down that reactive process, because just as the pendulum is swinging in that process, meditation, by concentrating our mind, our thoughts, our hearts, our feelings, we begin, excuse me, the pendulum slowly begins to become more and more still. And then the more and more still we are, the more we're able to perfect the art of listening, which is, for the devotee, the most important process, the most important thing that we can learn to perfect the art of listening. And so in this brief paragraph, there's much, much teaching, because Yogananda is saying, I'm not here to discipline everyone. I'm here for those who want to learn, to ascend ego, and to find the stillness within themselves. And to those people, I can offer corrective, I can offer inspiration. I prefer to teach with inspiration, he was saying, but if not, if we're too dense in that particular subject or arena or karma in our lives, then occasionally, like a child, we need a little pat, a little corrective, a little wake-up call. And that's what he was there to help to give, just enough to get our attention and to try to work on that particular issue. And for the devotee, that's the blessing. It's not like, oh, I don't want to see that fault. It is like, oh, please shine that fault. And yes, that makes me happy, because now I can see, now I can work with it, now I can work on it, and now I can transcend it and become free. Joy to you, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Blessings. Bye-bye now.